Section 8 of Jim of the Hills, a story in rhyme by C.J. Dennis. This LibriVox recording is in the public domain. Recording by Son of the Exiles. Section 8. Red Robin. Hi, it's a funny world. This morning when I woke, I saw Red Robin on the fence and heard the words he spoke. Red Robin, he's a perky chap, and this was his refrain: "Dear, it's a pity that poor Jenny is so plain." To talk like that about his wife, it had me scandalised. I'd heard him singin' so before, but never recognised the meanin' of his chatter, or that he could be so vain. Dear, it's a pity that poor Jenny is so plain. I dunno how, I dunno why, but this reminded me I was promised to the widow for this Sunday night to tea. I'd promised her for weeks and weeks, until she pinned me down. I recollects this is the day, and gets up with a frown. I was thinkin' of the widow when I gets me clobber on, like a fellow will start thinkin' of the times that's past and gone. And while me thoughts is runnin' so, that bird chips in again: "Dear, it's a pity that poor Jenny is so plain." Now the widow's name is Jenny, and it strikes me sort of queer that me thoughts should be upon her when that robin's song I hear. She ain't so homely neither, but she never could compare with a certain bonzer vision with the sunlight in her hair. When I wandered down that evenin', she come smilin' to the gate, and her look is calculatin', and she scolds because I'm late. She takes me hat and sits me down and heaves a little sigh, but I get a queer sensation from that glimmer in her eye. She starts to talk about the mill, and then about the strike, and then she digs Ben Murray up and treats him nasty like. She treats him cruel and caddish, as them soft, sweet women can. But I ups and tells her plainly that I think Ben is a man. First round to me, but she comes back and says Ben is a cad who's made a laughin' stock of her and treated her real bad. I twig she's out for sympathy, so counters that and says that Ben's a broken-hearted man about the mill these days. The second round to me on points, and I was havin' hopes. I might have known that widows were familiar with the ropes. "But he'd never make a husband," says the widow with a sigh, and again I gets a warnin' from that glimmer in her eye. I says I ain't no judge of that, and treats it with a laugh, but she keeps the talks on husbands for a minute and a half. I can't do much but spar a bit and keep her out of range, so the third round is the widow's, and the fight takes on a change. I'm longin' for a breather, for I've done me nerve a lot, when suddenly she starts on love and makes the pace real hot. In half a jiff she has me on the ropes and breathin' hard, with not a fight inside me. I can only duck and guard. She uppercuts me with a sigh and jabs me with a glance. When a widow is the fighter, has a single bloke a chance? Her short-arm blows are amorous, most lovin' is her lunge, until it's just a touch and go. I don't throw up the sponge. I use me headpiece here a bit to wriggle from the fix, for the widow is a winner, less I fluke a win by tricks. And I gets a real mean notion that I don't seek to excuse when I interrupts her rudely with, "But have you heard the news?" Now, to a woman, that's a lead dead certain of a score, and a question that the keenest is unable to ignore. and good old curiosity comes in to second me, and I saw her struggle hopeless and, "What news is that?" says she. And here I spins a lovely yarn, a gloomy, hard-luck tale of how I've done me money in, and I'm about to fail. How me house and land is mortgaged, how I've muddled my affairs through foolin' round with racin' bets and rotten mining shares. I saw the fight was easy mine the minute I begun, and after half a dozen words the timekeep counted 1. And when I finished that sad tale there ain't the slightest doubt I am winner of the contest, and the widow's down and out. But not for long, although she's lost, the widow is dead game. "I'm sorry, Mr. Jim," says she, "for both your loss and shame. All things is changed between us now, of course the past is dead, and what you were about to say you please will leave unsaid. I was thinkin' in the evening over how I had escaped, and how the widow took it all, the way she stared and gaped. She looked her plainest at that time, but that don't matter now, for, plain or fair, I know of one who's fairer anyhow. I tells meself that beauty ain't a thing to count with man, and I would never choose a wife on that unthinking plan. No robin was awake, I swear, but still I heard that strain, "Dear, it's a pity that poor Jenny is so plain." End of section 8. Recording by Son of the Exiles.